This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us by the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on May the 9th, 2014. Our time is 8:52 Mountain. And we say on this show, Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Don't forget, our radio show runs on your favorite radio stations. The shows are archived on two of Harold's websites, HESradio.com and rarecoloreddiamonds.com. They're streaming there. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in World Financial Report on Radio. You will find us there. All you need to do is subscribe to the podcast. The show comes in every week to your portable device. We are portable. We go anywhere you do. Harold does daily market commentary. Find that commentary on his website and on the podcast site as well. A couple of reminders. Coming up on May 21st, hsfineauctions.com is going to be putting on another major auction. 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern, with some of the proceeds going to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. So remember, it's May 21st. You can go to hsfineauctions.com and sign up and take a look at the catalog. We'll talk about it later in the show. Also, Harold is going to be on Bloomberg Radio May the 16th at 2:15 Eastern, 12:15 Mountain, talking about diamonds and the charity auction put on by HS Fine Auctions. This week in the news, the EU met. They kept rates ultra low. And they're in a position now where they may have to either do quantitative easing or some sort of money printing program. There's even talk of negative bank account yields because they're very concerned about deflation. The Fed met. In fact, they spoke, the Congress did, with Janet Yellen, the head of the Fed, and she said there's no timetable for rate increases. She's very concerned about the economy. It is still very sluggish. Also, the Fed balance sheet. In 2007, it was $800 billion. Today, $4.5 trillion due to all the quantitative easing. And she said it would take 5 to 8 years to shrink that balance sheet. And an interesting note, 4 years ago this week, the stock market flash crash took place. That's where you saw the Dow go down 1,000 points in a second. The crazy thing is, and we have this story in our free weekly newsletter, they still don't know why it happened. 4 years later, they still don't know why the flash crash happened. Harold, that's why we advocate for hard assets. Have that insurance policy in your portfolio, in your hand. Gold, silver, diamonds. There are no flash crashes. It's amazing to me. They still don't know 4 years later. Unbelievable.
It certainly is, Randy, and they don't know where that Malaysian airplane is either. So crazy, crazy times. You know, after Janet Yellen spoke this week and commented that the economy is not where it needs to be type of thing, the market plummeted, or it fell actually during her speech. However, right after that, it went up 110 points. So I don't know what in the world she said. I watched it. I didn't see anything bullish coming out of her mouth, and all of a sudden the market finished up over 100 points on the day. So I really don't think that a lot of people put a lot of credence in what's happening in the Dow Jones today. Again, you're looking at a situation where the market's at record highs at a time when the economy just isn't backing that up. The U.S. economy is not in great shape. Why would the Dow be sitting at record prices? It makes no sense. Just the same with gold and silver. Why are gold and silver prices dropping when the U.S. dollar is down to, it actually broke 79.50 this week and actually dropped down to 79.20. So that was a heavy support level for the U.S. dollar, and the metals market should have been up substantially just on that news alone. So I really don't believe that investors at this point have an awful lot of faith in what's happening in the overall market situations at this point. Again, I really think it boils down to the fact that the governments are so desperate at this point that they just don't care what they're doing at this time and what people think about the marketplace. Because, again, as somebody who's been in the business 35 years and I thought that I've seen almost everything. I have never seen what's happening at this particular point. This is just out and out deceptiveness, and again, people are sitting there shaking their heads saying, how in the world is this happening when there's really no fundamentals to back this up at all? Again, a Dow that's sitting at over 16,500 when the economy is in shambles. So again, at this point, I do believe that these markets will straighten themselves out. I think that things are so desperate still in the United States and Europe that they're just doing whatever they possibly can to keep things afloat. And there are definitely situations out there that could hurt the economy tremendously. We've talked about them in the past, and they're still there, with the biggest one more than likely being what's happening in the derivatives market. The derivatives market is in the quadrillions of dollars. It's unregulated, and a lot of people believe, including myself, that that is one situation that could really plummet the markets. So if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s and have your money sitting pretty well in the stock market, I'd be very concerned about that at this particular point, because again, there's really nothing backing up this move in the stock market except for quantitative easing, where they're putting all this money into the bond market, into the stock market, and into the mortgage-backed securities market. And believe me, they're talking about the U.S. stock market getting healthy again. It isn't. There's still loads of people that are losing their homes, and the only thing that is going well in the U.S. as far as the real estate market goes is the rental markets. Most people can't even afford to buy a home at this particular point. So this is a week where the markets were very choppy. Gold traded down as low as $12.80. But the market, as we're trading right now on Friday, taping the show, the market basically is sitting at a high of 1294.90. So we're still very close to the 1300 level. The major number that we're concerned about in gold is if it was to break 1180. But that's about $100 away from now. And again, as this market tends to get to its support levels, it has been bouncing off of it and coming back a bit. So as we're trading right now, we're at 1294. I'd like to see the market continue to close above 1300. But again, at this point, we need some fresh news. We need some reason for this market to rally. And again, I believe it will come as a result of the stock market falling and the U.S. dollar falling. Now, as the U.S. dollar does fall, the Canadian dollar is falling with it. Canadian dollar did strengthen by about a penny this week, but we do know that the Canadian government wants a weak Canadian dollar, and even though the U.S. dollar is a weak currency, it's stronger than the Canadian dollar at this particular point. The U.S. dollar is really getting hurt by the British pound and by the euro. The euro is trading at very close to 139 to 140. And again, you really won't notice how weak the Canadian and American dollar is until you travel to Europe. That's when you really discover how weak our currencies are compared to what's happening in Europe. Now, it's not that the European economy is in great shape. It's just that their currency is much stronger than ours at this particular point, and it just shows to the weakness of the Canadian and the U.S. dollar. So as we're taping the show, the Dow is down today about 30 points at 1650.20. The NASDAQ, which has been very choppy this week and not looking overly strong, is trading down 10 points at 4,041. The Toronto Stock Exchange was down fairly heavy this week. It's down another 40 points on Friday and trading at 4,508. The U.S. dollar is up a bit today, but again, still trading below the 80-cent level. It's trading right now at 79.82, but it did break the 79.50 level, which was very important. The next major level is 78.50 and then 72.50. So again, as the U.S. dollar continues to fall, it should help the metals markets because there is a direct correlation between the U.S. dollar and precious metals. The Nikkei, which has been extremely weak this entire week, is up barely 30 points and trading at 14,194. And crude oil, every time it drops down to just below 100, it comes back very strong. It's up 75 cents at 101.01. So again, at this particular point, we need a reason for the metals to rally. And again, there's several reasons out there why this market should do it, but the major situations are, number one, inflation in the future. It's obviously not here now because they're keeping interest rates, pretty close to 0%. So at this point, what we are seeing is inflation in other markets. We're seeing inflation in the food markets. Food prices are up 25% in the first quarter of this year, 25% in the first quarter, and there could be some situations weather-wise that this is an El Nino year this year. We could see some situations in the grain markets again this year that could cause food prices to go higher than they are at this point. Again, a 25% increase in the first quarter of the year is quite substantial. A lot of that was to do with milk, those type of products, and beef. Beef prices have absolutely skyrocketed, and a lot of that is to do with what's happening in the grain markets. Also in California, they've had a tremendous drought, and you're seeing that that's really going to have effect on the food markets also. So again, moving forward, Randy, I see very bullish factors in the market. Inflation is very bullish for gold and silver, as are weak currencies, because again, a weak currency, there's a direct correlation between a weak U.S. dollar and the gold market. And we've seen that happen on many occasions over the last 12 years especially. But again, when you have a strong U.S. dollar, normally the price of gold is weak. When you have a weak U.S. dollar, the price of gold is strong, and that was proven in this run from basically $250 in gold all the way up to $1,900. And don't forget, gold hit $1,900 in 2011 when the U.S. dollar was at its weakest point of 72.5 cents. We do believe we're going to revisit those numbers, and again, we're still very bullish on owning gold and silver. We don't trade that market. We're not recommending buying and selling, and if the market's going to back off, $50 or $60 in gold, there's no reason to sell your gold and buy it back, because the spread between the bid and the ask will negate what you're trying to do. You don't want to trade it. You want to hold it as a hedge against everything bad that could happen in the economy. And again, we have still full confidence in the gold and silver market. I do believe that the U.S. dollar will continue to weaken, and that will push the price of gold and silver higher. And then, again, this is not your normal market. The market that we had going from basically 1999 and 2000, when the price of gold was down to $250 and silver was at $4, we saw the real reason why gold and silver was on a 12-year tear, a 12-year bull market, and made the type of moves that it was supposed to make. And again, we saw a move from $250 to $1,900 in gold, and a move from under $4 to $50 in silver. We also saw oil go from $18 all the way up to $150, and we saw the currency markets go in a strong direction also, especially the euro. So again, those days will come again, but I do not believe that we're going to see an orderly bull market in these markets again. I think that there'll be heavy spikes in the market. We will see these hedge funds come in and buy an undervalued gold and silver market when nobody is expecting that to happen. So we watch the commitment of traders reports. We watch the amount of gold and silver short and long positions in the market, and it gives us a good short-term indication as to what this market is doing. But again, a short-term indication is really not what we're into. We believe in the market for the long term, and I truly believe that over the next 3 to 5 years, the price of gold will not only take up the 1900 level that we saw in 2011, but will reach much higher prices due to all the reasons that we've spoken about in the past: a weak U.S. dollar, the potential of extremely high inflation, and currency devaluation, which is the reason you want to be in hard assets, not soft assets, because we're definitely going to see that the hard asset market is where most of the money is going to be made moving forward. Again, I know it doesn't seem like it at this point because the markets have been so lethargic, but again, I believe that this is an orchestrated move to keep the metals down, but there will be a point in the foreseeable near future that this market will run, and run very heavily. So I'm holding my physical gold and silver. I'm a heavy owner of those. I've really not sold off any of my physical metal. I'm a big holder of diamonds and hard assets. I do not believe in the soft asset markets at this particular time.
When you're looking to invest in precious metals, speak with Worldwide Precious Metals of Vancouver. They're the only Canadian precious metals bullion dealer recommended by Herald for over 10 years. They're the experts to trust when investing within this very specialized market, precious metals. Find them online. Their website, www.pmc.com. You can go there and sign up for our free weekly newsletter. We send it out free of charge every week. It's the companion to our radio show. It has all the information that Harold and I see on a weekly basis. Or call, free of charge, 1-866-623-2002. It's easy to start your own precious metals investment account. You can get an experienced, results-driven personal bullion dealer who is there to help you maximize the profit and minimize the risk by building an understanding and relationship directly with you. And they want to thank everyone who came out and spent time with them in Calgary when they were in Calgary last week. All investments are secure and 100% insured to the full value of your investment. The metal can be stored on your behalf all outside the banking system or be securely delivered to your door. Discover Worldwide Precious Metals domestic or foreign storage, in addition to premium storage options in specific coin and bar form. With Worldwide Precious Metals, you'll have instant liquidity in and out of the market with just a phone call and 24/7 online access. Worldwide Precious Metals. Speak with them today. The website, wwpmc.com, telephone number 1-866-623-2002. And I really encourage you to get our free weekly newsletter this week. Lots of good information in the newsletter, and one story that I think is very compelling. Greg Hunter, formerly of CNN, interviewed Doug Casey of Casey Research. And you can read the story and you can watch the interview as well. We have a link to it. Catastrophic meltdown coming to the United States. Investor author Doug Casey says most Americans are ill-prepared for what's coming. He explains, this huge recession that started in 2007, and the bottom was 2009 and 2010, has cyclically recovered. So people think it's going to be happy days again, but it's not. The way the government engineered this recovery is by creating trillions in currency units. And as we speak, they are creating $55 billion a month more by buying government bonds and mortgage securities. All of this paper money, which is currently sitting in banks, at some point is going to wash over the United States. You'll see very high levels of inflation. It's going to be quite catastrophic. Casey, who has a new video called Meltdown America, and we do have a link to that, it's about a half-an-hour movie, contends the standard of living for the average American has been dropping for years now. The average American can't lay his hands on $2,000. A recent poll came out and said 40% of Americans, if they had to get $2,000 cash in 30 days, could not do it. So things are pretty strapped. And when the economy goes off the deep end again, I think it could happen this year, quite frankly. There's going to be a lot of unemployed people, a lot of people without any money, and a lot of people with a lot of debt. There is nothing the government can do at this point except print more money. The problem is, all the money they are printing is coming out of a financial fire hose at the Federal Reserve. The rich guys are where the fire hose is, and the little people are just getting some dribs and drabs. This is why the country is becoming polarized, where the rich are becoming richer and the poor are becoming poorer. It's exactly because of these government actions that are incredibly stupid. It's just bailing out the rich. The prognosis is extremely grim. There's no way out. We have the movie that we talked about, Meltdown America. You can watch it. All you need to do is get our free weekly newsletter and click on the link. And on top of it, you can watch this interview with Greg Hunter and Doug Casey. Catastrophic meltdown coming to the United States. And Harold, even if he's half right, it's something that people should heed and at the same time know that they need to position themselves and the money they have in their portfolio to protect profit and protect the money that they have today.
You better believe it, Randy. Again, we work way too hard, to blow our money in the markets at this particular point, and we've seen it happen so many times. So, if it doesn't feel right, sit on the sidelines, and that's what you should be doing at this particular point if you're not comfortable, with what's happening in the paper markets. The unfortunate thing is that we work so hard for our money, and our money is supposed to work for us, and it's very difficult to do that at this point because interest rates are so low in the banks that isn't an option for most people. You know, if you had $500,000 put away for retirement and you keep it in the bank, you're going to make $10,000 a year or less. And after inflation and after taxes, you're just not going to make any money. So you really need to weigh the risk and reward. And again, I understand that low interest rates and lack of returns force people back into markets. And when you're reading in the papers that the Dow's up again and again and again, you know, it makes you think that, geez, maybe I'm missing out on something. I should get back into that market. It's the worst thing that you could do at this particular point. The risks are so high that the stock market is no longer, you know, suitable for most investors. In fact, all you have to do is look at your RRSP over the last 5 to 10 years and realize that you've made absolutely no money. How in the world is that possible to be in the stock market for that period of time and not make any money? So you've got to rethink what you're going to do at this point. And again, alternative investments like physical gold and silver, diamonds, cars, you know, hard assets type of things that have done extremely well in the past under similar situations will do very, very well again. And that's the route that I'm going, and that's the route that many people I know have gone to total conservative investments, and again, to try to eliminate as much of the risk as possible.
One of the stories we had last week, the jobs report out of the United States, and gold and silver ended up rallying on those numbers, even though they were spun to be good. And we have a section in our newsletter this week about jobs. And I really encourage people to take a hard look at it because it will open up your eyes as to what's really happening in the Eurozone. The unemployment, it remains just absolutely ugly. You're looking at 12% unemployment in a lot of the Eurozone countries. In fact, Spain, 25%, Greece, 25%, and that's adult. Youth is up around 50-60%. And if you look at the jobs numbers in the United States, the economy is not keeping up with population growth. 8 million added to the working population, 500,000 fewer jobs, despite more than 8 million people added to the working age population since 2007. Total employment has declined by 500,000, according to analysis by the Senate Budget Committee. Before Barack Obama took office, 259.7 million people were part of the working age population, or between ages 16 and 65. Now the number has risen to 267.7 million. However, in the same time period, total employment declined from 146.3 million to 145.7 million. In other words, 531,000 fewer people have jobs today. And if you take a look at the labor participation rate for 25 to 29-year-olds, it has hit a record low. As well, women not in the labor force hitting record highs. 1 million people dropped out of the labor force in April. The participation rate plummeted to 1978 lows. Those are the facts behind the job numbers that we... Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on May the 9th, 2014. Our time is 9:16 Mountain, and we say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there this Mother's Day weekend, including my mother. Happy Mother's Day to her. And I should remind you that our radio show runs on your favorite radio stations. Also, the shows are archived on Harold's websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Can't forget that we have a podcast, too, through iTunes. Type in World Financial Report on Radio. You'll find us there. Subscribe to the podcast. We're portable. We go anywhere you do. Harold does daily market commentary. You can find that commentary on his websites and on the podcast site as well. There's only one company Harold recommends you use when it comes to investing in hard assets, gold and silver. That is a leading precious metals bullion dealer based out of Vancouver, a Canadian company, Worldwide Precious Metals. Harold has been recommending them for over 10 years. Let them earn your business. They're the experts in this very specialized field. They're there to help you maximize profit, minimize risk. The website, www.pmc.com. Telephone number 1-866-623-2002. And thank you to all the people who met with them when they were in Calgary last week. Now, Harold is going to be interviewed live on Bloomberg Radio May 16th, 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern. And that is because we have a special auction coming up May 21st, hsfineauctions.com, 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern. And some of the proceeds are going to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. Now remember, that's coming up May 21st, HS Fine Auctions, 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern. The catalog is online. You can go check it out. And Harold, we are so excited about this auction because there are so many people that have been affected by breast cancer.
Oh, you bet, Randy. And again, I couldn't be more proud to be associated with such a phenomenal charity, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make certain that I make a difference for them. All of us know somebody or have been affected in some way, shape, or form by breast cancer. So, again, I think it's a great cause. And, you know, as far as men go, I mean, we're men, we're husbands, we're grandfathers, we're fathers, we're sons. You know, most people have known somebody who's been affected by this terrible disease, but the work that Susan G. Komen has done has been Herculean, and I'm just extremely proud to be able to be associated with them, to be a partner of theirs, and to be able to raise an awful lot of money for them. So if you go to hsfineauctions.com, you're going to be able to see the catalog. One of the things that we are auctioning off is a very, very rare and beautiful piece that we designed for them, actually, and it's the breast cancer ribbon. We did this particular one out of pink sapphires, and it's all in pink gold, and it's absolutely magnificent. I actually, we designed this and gave the first one to the founder, Nancy Brinker, who started the Susan G. Komen charity, and I understand that she never, ever takes this off. Along with that, we are going to auction off some jewelry at the levels that we've really never done before. Some of these pieces are very, very expensive and rare pieces, but we're bringing them to you for unbelievable prices. And again, over 50% of the money is going to the Susan G. Komen charity. There's a couple pieces in general that you should be aware of. Most of us are aware of what's happening in the pink diamond market and how expensive pink diamonds are getting, and where most pink diamonds are under a quarter carat. There's a 102 cushion cut fancy pink diamond ring that's going to be auctioned off. It's being appraised as we speak, but I understand from the appraiser it's going to be appraised in the $300,000 to $350,000 range. It's the main stone is over a carat, but then the pink diamonds around it double the size of that. It's an 18 karat rose gold. It's a real museum piece. It's worth over $350,000, and the starting bid is going to be $55,000. This is a diamond ring that will do nothing but go up in value, and again, it's magnificent, and it's being auctioned off. There's also a matching pair of earrings, a 4.75 carats of pure pink diamond earrings that will take your breath away. The starting price is $52,000. Again, you're talking about pieces that sell in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. So not only is the charity going to do extremely well from this, but so will my clients that are participating in the auction, because you're going to be able to buy pieces that are so rare and so beautiful and so valuable, and you're going to be able to accomplish two things. Number one, donate to a very important charity, and number two, get some tremendous value for your money. This isn't just writing a check and saying that you're donating to a charity. You're getting something of extreme value in return for it. So again, we're very excited about this upcoming auction. This is a first for us to use our virtual auction to raise money for a very worthwhile cause. And again, I couldn't be more proud of the relationship that we have with the Susan G. Komen charity. You know, one of the things that I'm so excited about is to work with these quality of people. You see, Susie and Nancy were sisters in Illinois when they were growing up, and very, very close. However, as they got older, Susie contacted breast cancer. And back then, in the early 80s, it isn't what it is today. There was very little known about it. In fact, it was almost a taboo type of conversation. Nobody wanted to mention breast and cancer, especially in the same sentence type of thing. But as Susie was dying, she went to her sister Nancy and said, you've got to make me a promise. You've got to make a promise that you'll do everything that you can in your power to end this terrible disease. And you make promises throughout your life, and sometimes you do your best. They're all meant with good intentions, and you do your best to keep that promise. But what Nancy did was Herculean, because she took that promise and she turned it into the Susan G. Komen breast cancer charity that has raised over $2 billion and is one of the leading charities in the world, all made because of a promise that she made to her sister. Nancy went on to be the ambassador to the United States for Hungary, Time's most influential person, and has accomplished things that most of us never would dream possible. And this is the type of people that I want to work with, because I would like to help and make a difference. So we're going to use our virtual auction business to raise money for a very worthwhile charity. And again, if this is something that is of interest to you, you definitely would like to attend this auction. It's going to be sensational. The first item that we're going to auction off is the breast cancer awareness ribbon, all made of pink sapphires. It's magnificent. We also have some beautiful Argyle diamonds coming up. In fact, the first diamond that's going to be auctioned is a small diamond. It's a .16 carat, round, brilliant, fancy cut in fancy, intense, orangey yellow Argyle diamond. This is one of two diamonds that I've ever seen that are of this color before that actually came out of the Argyle mine. It's a true collector's item. Very, very few of these ever exist, and we are very, very fortunate to get it. We are going to start the prices extremely low on this auction. This is the last auction for the summer, and then we'll resume again around the end of October. But the starting price on this unbelievable diamond, all you have to do is look at the video on it, and you'll understand how intense and orange this Argyle diamond is. But its estimated value is $35,000. We're going to start the starting bid at $7,500. There's a magnificent 20-point princess cut, fancy, intense, orangey pink Argyle diamond. It's a VS2 clarity. If you've seen what orangey pink diamonds have done at auction lately, you're going to want to own this diamond. They're skyrocketing in price because you've got a combination of two of the best colors you can get. Orange, which is a combination of red and yellow, and pink, and it makes this diamond extremely rare. And add to the clarity of a VS2, it makes this diamond ridiculously rare. There's another pear-shaped .33 fancy orangey pink diamond coming up, and it's an SI2 clarity. And it's going to start at a very low price of $15,000. The diamond's estimated value is $35,000. Listen to this. There's a 33-point round brilliant, which is one of the rarest cuts you can get. Fancy purplish pink Argyle, but it's almost flawless. You'll never ever see a diamond like this coming out of the Argyle mine. It's a VVS1 clarity, meaning that it's one step below flawless, and it's ridiculously rare. Its estimated value is $60,000, but the starting price is only $25,000. So as you can see, there's some phenomenal diamonds that are going to be auctioned off at extremely, extremely good prices. We want our clients to get into the pink diamond market, and we're making it as comfortable as possible. All those diamonds that are going up on this auction are from my private collection. So basically, these are diamonds that I've owned for the last 10 years and have now put them up for auction because I would love my clients to own these diamonds, especially since the Argyle mine is going to close down in 6 years. We anticipate that the price of these diamonds can increase anywhere from 5 to 10 times what these present prices are. Then we get into the jewelry section, and again, we're offering pieces that we've never ever auctioned before. A 3.55 carat radiant cut yellow diamond earrings that will literally take your breath away. They are stunning. The starting price is going to be $17,000. I'm waiting for the appraiser to finish the appraisals, but I imagine that those diamond earrings are worth somewhere in the range of $50,000 to $60,000, and the starting bid is going to be for $17,000. There's a fancy, vivid yellow diamond ring coming up for sale. It's 1.56 carats. It's surrounded by white diamonds and then yellow diamonds, and the whole band is encrusted in white diamonds. The center stone is vivid in color, and on a scale from 1 to 10, it's a 9 or 10 out of 10. The color will take your breath away, and the starting price on that is $22,000. I guarantee you that ring is worth somewhere in the range of $70,000, $80,000. There's a 2.65 heart-shaped VS1 yellow diamond ring, and the actual ring setting is encrusted with white diamonds. It will take your breath away. The starting price is going to be $25,000 for a ring like this that you'll never see unless you go to a very high-end jeweler in New York. Then we've got a 5.89 carat pear-shaped fancy light yellow diamond earrings. They are stunning, almost 6 carats of diamonds, and you're looking at a starting price of $30,000. These diamonds are worth somewhere in the range of $80,000. They're magnificent. Then we're coming to the pink diamonds that I mentioned to you, the 4.75 earrings that are stunning, the 1 carat 102 cushion cut fancy pink ring that is encrusted with diamonds. The ring is worth at least $300 to $350, and the starting bid is going to be $55,000. Half of the money over the starting bid price is going to the Susan G. Komen charity. And then the last diamond ring is a 103 carat pear-shaped fancy light orangey pink diamond ring that will literally take your breath away. It's stunning. The opening bid price is $35,000, but there's no way that this diamond ring isn't worth at least $150,000. So it's going to be one of the best auctions we've ever had. And again, combine that with the fact that we're raising money for one of the most worthwhile charities in existence today. I'm so excited about this, Randy. And again, it's really being picked up all over the world press-wise, because again, we'll be on Bloomberg for 15 minutes on Bloomberg Radio on the 16th, which is a Friday at 2:15 Eastern Time. And again, it's going to be a phenomenal interview and a phenomenal auction, and we're getting press from all over the world now of media that is picking up on this phenomenal event. So we hope that our listeners will support us and the charity, and along with the fact, end up with some phenomenal buys on some amazing jewelry and very rare stones.
May 21st, hsfineauctions.com, 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern, putting on an unbelievable auction, and part of the proceeds going to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. Harold will be interviewed on Bloomberg Radio May 16th, 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern. All you need to do is go to, if you get our newsletter, all you need to do is just click on the link. It will take you to Bloomberg Radio, but it's very simple. Just go to Bloomberg.com, and it says radio at the top. Click on radio. It will take you there, and you can listen live to Harold Siegel on Bloomberg Radio. Our featured diamond of the week from rarecolorediamonds.com is a 1.23 carat marquise cut fancy vivid yellow internally flawless. And this is an absolutely stunning diamond. Speak with Harold about investing in this diamond today. And speaking of diamonds, we have a couple of big auctions next week, and we will keep you up to date. There is a daffodil yellow and blue diamond that are going to be starting at Geneva Auctions. In fact, the Graph Vivid Yellow is going to be auctioned off May 13th. It weighs 100.09 carats. They think that it could go anywhere from 15 to 25 million. There's also a white diamond that's 103.46 carats. The estimate on that is 3.5 to 5 million. And then on May 14th, Christie's auctioning off a blue diamond, 13.22 carats, one of the greatest blue diamonds on the planet today. Pear-shaped stone estimated $21 to $25 million. Get our free weekly newsletter from Harold Siegel. Connect with him. Go to rarecolorediamonds.com, and you can call him and speak personally and privately about diamonds, about the auctions. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, rarecolorediamonds.com, and the auction site is hsfineauctions.com. Harold listed off the items that we have. Go to the catalog section. You can see all the pictures of the items that are going to be auctioned off. And Harold, I think it's very important for people to understand that if they want to just be a part of the auction and not bid, that's okay. Everyone is welcome. Come in, get comfortable. When you feel comfortable, then you can place bids. Maybe you're in a situation where you can't be there for the auction. We have a new system where you can place a bid ahead of time for a specific item. But just know that everyone is welcome. There's no pressure to bid. You can sit back and just get comfortable. And if you're not going to be around, that's okay. We are going to be in a situation now going forward, as we have for the past few auctions, where you can pre-bid. And Harold, that's a very exciting opportunity for those that would have normally missed out.
Oh, you bet, Randy. Again, it's something that we're very proud of, and it also allows our clients and friends from all over the world where they may have time restraints, like in China or Australia, to still attend the auction and put bids on the pieces that we're interested in. So, again, that's working out extremely well. Again, we're very excited about the auction coming up. Also, I'm very excited about the featured diamond that we put up. All you have to do is look at this diamond. It's a magnificent marquise, but it's a vivid yellow flawless. Very few diamonds like this exist. The color on it is a 10 out of 10. It is so beautiful. Look at the video on it, and it's one of the rarest diamonds, and they go up tremendously in value. These vivid yellow flawlesses, which are in very, very tight supply, hardly any are around anymore. A diamond like that will go up more than almost any other diamond percentage-wise. So, again, take a look at the featured diamond, and take a look at our vivid yellow flawlesses. Again, soon you're not going to be able to get them, and they go up tremendously in value, especially the one that we're featuring this week.
I know your son Jonathan sent me the featured diamond, but he also sent me a list of Rappaport diamonds that had been auctioned off, very similar to the diamond we're featuring. And he had said there was a diamond that was within the wheelhouse of this featured diamond, 1.23 carat marquis cut, fancy vivid yellow internally flawless, that went for around $900,000.
Well, it was an amazing auction, actually, because we had a diamond very similar to that diamond on our website. Ours was flawless. The one that was auctioned off was not. It was a VVS1, but it was put in a Bulgari ring, and it was bigger than this one. It was twice the size. It was actually it was a 2.5 carat. The shocking thing was that they had predicted and estimated that 2.5 carat marquis vivid yellow VVS1 diamond would sell for $180,000, and it sold for $960,000. So again, the marquis is a very rare shape. The color on this is a 10. It's magnificent, and again, it's one of the best investment diamonds, and it'll be at an excellent price. It'll be at a price that most people could afford. So inquire into that diamond. Give us a call Monday or Tuesday, and we'll let you know all about it. But it is one of the better featured diamonds that we've had up on the site. It's magnificent.
So go to rarecolordiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. Click on the link. You can see video of the 1.23 carat marquis cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. And I would say, if you are interested in adding this to your diamond portfolio or starting a portfolio of diamonds, one of the bedrocks, obviously, you want to have an Argyle pink, and you want to have a yellow internally flawless. And this would be a perfect way to start your portfolio, especially since they're going to be auctioning off that Graph yellow diamond next week. And if it goes for record prices, that means it lifts all yellow diamond prices as a result. So you want to obviously make that investment prior to the 13th, 14th, when we're having these sales in Geneva, Christie's and Sotheby's, for the blue diamonds and for the yellow diamonds, and even the D flawless, internally flawless white diamonds. They're going to be going up in price too as a result of these auctions. That's why, Harold, as time goes on, there is a sense of urgency. You can't just sit back and wait. You need to be involved in these markets and build your portfolio over time, and have the pink diamonds, the yellow diamonds, the blue diamonds, maybe even a green diamond. Build that portfolio to the level that you want. But there is a sense of urgency due to the fact that prices continue to go up at auction all over the world.
You bet. Now is definitely the time to get into the market. Again, we're 6 years away from the Argyle mine closing down. It may seem like a long time, but again, the way that the prices of these diamonds are going up, you don't want to wait because you're going to end up paying a fortune for them. And again, if you can afford them at this particular time, we want you to be able to obviously buy low and sell high. So the Argyle pinks, to me, are a locked-in winner. They produce 95% of all the pink diamonds in the world. The mine is going to close in less than 6 years, and the price of those diamonds will just increase tremendously. And we have the secondary market to resell them. We own H. Siegel Fine Auctions, which is the secondary market that resells diamonds, and now is going to hold auctions for this tremendous charity that we're all involved in. We're very, very excited about what is happening in our auction business, Randy. It really has turned out to be even greater than I imagined it would.
Well, the pendant for breast cancer awareness, now there is only going to be one of those auctioned off come the 21st?
Well, what I'm thinking is that if there's a lot of interest in that particular ribbon, I have the wherewithal to make extras. We've made all of the casts for them. So what we may end up doing, depending on how many people bid on it, I may be able to make it available to everybody that bid on the diamond, on the piece.
So keep that in mind. If you are interested in that pendant for breast cancer awareness, there is the opportunity for more than one at auction. I encourage you to go to hsfineauctions.com and take a look at the catalog. You will see the pendant for breast cancer awareness, part of the proceeds going to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. And since we started talking about this on the radio show, Harold has been inundated with all sorts of people telling stories. It seems every family has been touched by cancer, by breast cancer, and this is something that obviously we want to eradicate from our world. The auction is coming up 6 Mountain, 8 Eastern. Take a look at the catalog, hsfineauctions.com. Sign up today. We encourage you to do that. And don't forget, Harold is going to be on Bloomberg Radio May 16th. Bloomberg Radio, go to Bloomberg.com. You can find radio there. You can listen to it on your laptop, your iPad, your iPod, your desktop. You can listen to it on your portable device, your iPhone, your Android phone, whatever you have, you'll be able to listen to Harold. Just go to Bloomberg Radio and actually go to Bloomberg.com and listen to radio. They really do a good job, Bloomberg. They really push the TV, but also the online aspect as well. And definitely have that app on your phone and listen to Harold coming up on May the 16th. Harold, we have approximately 1 minute left. It's Mother's Day weekend, and we want to say to all the mothers that listen to our radio show on a weekly basis, Happy Mother's Day.
You better believe it. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there, and I hope you have the wonderful day that you deserve. I'd like to wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very, very profitable day.
Don't forget, rarecolorediamonds.com. Connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. The featured diamond of the week. This would be the one to start your diamond portfolio with. 1.23 carat marquee cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. rarecolorediamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. And don't forget, hsfineauctions.com. Next auction, May 21st, 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. And Harold is going to be interviewed live on Bloomberg Radio May 16th, 12:15 Mountain, 2:15 Eastern, about the auction, about the affiliation with the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation, and how some of the proceeds are going to fight breast cancer. Go to hsfineauctions.com, take a look at the catalog, and sign up for the auction. And don't forget, when it comes to investing in gold and silver, there's only one company Harold recommends you use. That's Worldwide Precious Metals. Speak with them about getting our free weekly newsletter, the companion to our radio show, and connect with them about starting your own precious metals investment account. www.pmc.com is the website. The telephone number, 1-866-623-2002. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We'll talk to you next week.